Joining us in studio in the war room, we've been taken over by the ladies. We've got Karen Taylor-Robson, Gayle Bass, Emily Ryan. Oh, it's the good and the great of the Valley to have a conversation about politics with us here. So we're going to talk about this. Obviously, we've been paying a lot of attention to Hurricane Milton, this monstrosity of a storm headed directly towards Florida's west coast, expected to make landfall sometime this evening, Phoenix time, or early morning Florida time. And it is, by all accounts, looks to be life-threatening. I mean, what did the mayor of Tampa say the other day?
You won't survive this.
If you don't leave, you're going to die. I was like, well, that's a strong statement. You know, we know that this is serious. But have storms, have natural disasters now become the latest political hot button? We have a battle going on basically out there over information, and I dare say disinformation, over hurricanes, hurricane responses. How hurricanes are formed, apparently, is part of this as well, if you can imagine. So,
you know what? I don't want anybody bringing that kind of stuff up to actually be making laws for us. If you really think that that's human cause aside from climate change, then I don't think we need to have a discussion with you about anything, let alone
are you
whether
telling
we should
me
stop
that
at a red
Jewish
light.
space lasers aren't a real thing?
You know what? I am a Jewish space laser. I'm willing now to go out and say that because look, this is ridiculous.
Well, let me just say let me preface it. You're talking about a certain Republican that said the Democrats are controlling the weather to hurt Republican states.
I mean, honestly.
Well, I have to, because I don't know if everybody knows.
What is our governor doing to make this heat wave last for 2 weeks? What did she do?
Right.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Did she make God mad?
There's a chance.
See how crazy that sounds?
Oh, it is crazy, but it is one person who is, on the Republican side that likes to say crazy stuff. It's not every Republican. I don't hear all Republican. I hear one Republican saying that, and you're probably shaking your head, Karen Taylor-Robson. I mean, the Democrats are not controlling the weather. So you hear that, and what do you think as a Republican?
God controls the weather, at least as far as I know.
I think you're right.
So.
I think you're right.
And I don't think he sends storms around elections to hurt one side or help the other. I would find that relatively hard to believe.
What about Trump saying that Harris took FEMA money to house illegal immigrants so they'd vote for her? Or Trump saying they didn't send the helicopters and claiming that they were only going to get $750. I think that was just a starting point.
Right.
That's all the disinformation. And then you have the left and the right saying, no, that's not what he said. Oh, that's what he said. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Meanwhile, there are people that think because I'm a Republican, there's no aid for me, and that's all gone to illegal migrants.
And
Which
Trump
is ridiculous.
Is making people think that.
Yeah, and there's a real conversation to be had about budgeting and FEMA budget and what we spend on the border issue and what we spend securing. That's a real conversation to be had. But no one is saying we're out of money.
We're not. FEMA's not out of money.
FEMA's not out of money, and there is aid for people.
Yeah.
And this feels a lot like COVID will be over by Easter. Get back out there and spend some money. And I resent it.
Yeah.
I can't be the only one that, resents having my buttons pushed like that.
Right.
There's also, a timing issue here, right? There's a time for peace and a time for war. And right now you have people whose lives are on the line. Their homes, their property, their pets, their families.
Their livelihood.
Everything is on the line. Right now, everybody's focus should be on their safety and security, getting them out of harm's way, then rescue and recovery, and then rebuilding.
Hear, hear.
Right? And that's 100% what everybody should be focused on.
Are you disappointed in Donald Trump that he went down this road with this rhetoric?
I'd just say generally I'm disappointed that anybody is politicizing it. I watched Governor Ron DeSantis, and he, I've heard some of his comments, and I just thought that's leadership, right? He has more experience in managing storms.
Well, they keep hitting Florida, for goodness sakes.
Right, than anybody.
You haven't gotten good at it by now.
KTR, can I just say, if you're the governor of Florida, you better
know.
That
You
better
better
be
know.
job
You
one.
are. You
better know what FEMA is.
You're a hurricane expert at
Right.
that. No, but I don't disagree. And he's been been taking a leadership role. And to his credit, I haven't heard disinformation coming from the governor of Florida or the governor of North Carolina or any of these
Georgia.
others. Yeah, I hear them giving factual information to protect their citizens, something you would want the governor to do.
And
that is their job.
You know what would get my attention as a voter and would make me look at Trump differently is if he, as a longtime resident of Florida, was standing in front of a microphone saying, evacuate, get out, take advantage of the help, save yourselves. If he was giving a real message, it would make me think, well, there's another side to him that I haven't acknowledged before. But he's not anywhere doing that.
Let's play a clip of the Weather Channel today. Kamala Harris called in. So I haven't heard this yet, but let's take a listen.
Okay.
Entitled to receive. There are federal resources you are entitled to receive without condition. And there are resources that are available to you to deal with what you need right now, to, for example, get money to be able to fill your prescriptions and deal with a hotel expense and help you recover over the longer term.
I mean, I think that's pretty good leadership. I don't know who told her to call in. Maybe it was her idea. Maybe it wasn't. But I think that's pretty good. We should hear from a leader, and you hear it on their timeline.
Somewhere Al Haig is spinning in his grave, I'm going to say, for anybody that gets the reference. Thank you.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think she had to do it when people are being told, they're not getting enough money. You have to
You're
go out
only
there.
going to get $750 and nothing else.
If KTAR was the duly elected governor of Arizona, you wouldn't be saying, you wouldn't be throwing out paper towels saying, look what I did for you, like use this to sop everything up. What you would be doing, which I guarantee you would because you're that kind of leader, is you would be saying, get out of the way, go somewhere safe because
be safe.
Because the thing is like when you put yourself at risk, you're putting first responders at risk. If you support our first responders, get your butt out.
Right.
That's my feeling. Don't go hiking when it's 1:15 and you're wearing flip-flops and don't have any water.
That's right.
Solid argument.
That's our flood.
Thanks for watching Outspoken with Bruce and Gaydos. Tap to watch more from KTAR News and click the button in the middle to subscribe.